This episode is sponsored by Zenro Clothing Co. Pick up your tees and or accessories at zenroclothingco.com and be sure to use offer code Socrates at checkout for 20% off select items. Also, if you're not into spending the money, just check out the Zenrail radio playlist. zenrailclothingco.com, music for your everyday. This episode also sponsored by The Portian Bakery. If you're located in the Portian area of Scarborough, Toronto, be sure to check out The Portian Bakery, say what's up to Arville, and pick up a donut or two. Baked daily, crafted with love. This episode also sponsored by Podbean. Podbean is the podcasting platform of choice. It's the one that me and Vish use, and is great, you know, if you're looking to start that DIY podcast yourself. Definitely check out Podbean. Use the link podbean.com/SocraticGamers and gain 1 month of unlimited podcasting for free. Test it out, build that content. Anyone can podcast, right, Vish?
Yep.
Start a podcast and get your ideas out there. All right, enjoy the episode. All right, cool. Before we jump into the video game stuff, although you said it would be pretty quick, I was checking it out as well. I saw some. Actually, you know what? We'll just jump into it. All right, video game. So there was the PlayStation showcase.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Back up. Let's just talk about the marketplace experience before we get into video games. So I just want to not warn people, but sometimes
warn people.
You were saying when, yeah, essentially, but you're saying when something's too good to be true, maybe it is. So Facebook Marketplace is amazing because you can pick up stuff for cheap. It's just pre-owned, and I feel like this is the new economy. I've noticed now that I'm more on it, a lot of people are using this to just sell stuff, especially with the rising prices and recession, everything's getting pretty expensive. And because of that, places like Facebook Marketplace thrive. Essentially, you're just buying someone else's used product. Why do you need a new Switch, for example? Because I bought a Switch on there, right? So there's the only thing is you have to go pick it up from the person. Okay, so I found this OLED Switch for $200, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is great!" But the guy was so far, located from me. So I messaged him, and then I'm like, "Oh, too bad I can't pick it up." And he's like, "Yeah, I'll just ship it to you." So that was over 2 weeks ago, and I still haven't received it, and that sucks. But it's a good lesson because it's it's a great marketplace to sell stuff, but always make sure you pick it up firsthand and try it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to rely on them shipping it.
Did you try it when you got this one?
Oh yeah, so lead up to that. So I went to go buy it on Amazon, and then I found the cheaper one because all right, I need it for this
Trip.
This trip. Yeah, guess how long the flight is?
I think you said 20 hours or something, right?
20 hours, not including layovers.
Yeah.
10-hour layover, bro. I'm like, what am I gonna do on this plane? So it's
Where's
30 hours is the
10
whole. 5 hours in Vancouver, 5 hours in Hong Kong.
Oh. Well,
Yeah.
I thought it was 10 hours in one spot. Okay, never mind.
No, that'd be great. Yeah, so 5 and 5. So I'm like, oh, what am I gonna do? So I need the Switch. So I looked on Amazon.
2 layovers.
Perfect.
Damn.
Yeah, crazy, right? Well, because I go to the Philippines, and the closest way is you could just fly direct if you just got Air Canada, but you're looking at 4 Gs right there. I paid 3 Gs for this, and this was the cheapest flight. That's why I it's all broken up.
Yeah,
Anyways,
I'm just thinking
yeah.
my India trips are it's only one layover, but about a 4 or 5 hour kind of layover.
Yeah, you go to
but the flights
somewhere
are
in Canada,
long,
right?
though, right?
Yeah, totally. But I mean, that's not the worst part because you could sleep on it. It's more in between. What are you gonna do? And I crush books because my mom was just like, "Oh, I should bring a book." I'm like, I'm gonna need several books. And then the last time I did that, I had to lug them around, and that's not fun, because you're carrying this big bag, and then when you're done with the books,
And that's where the iPad or Kindle kind of come in.
totally, way better. But I don't like reading digital stuff. Anyways,
Yeah.
so I need the Switch. So I bought the Switch on Amazon for cheaper. But then I was like, okay, let me just look again on Marketplace, and I found the not the OLED version, but the all black version. And I was looking for that one because I like all things that are just I'm trying to go with like just the black tone now, right? Because like the regular Switch is like red and blue, and it's like too colorful. It's kind of kitty, but this one looks like sleek. It's just like all black. So I found that one, and I picked it up from a guy yesterday. But the hardest part about Marketplace also is like figuring out where to meet up. So usually it's like, all right, somebody's house or like an apartment. You're like, all right, that's an easy one, right? So he's sending me location to the McDonald's, and it was like it kept being the wrong McDonald's. I'm like, what the hell?
Okay.
Yeah, right. So like I went to like the first address I went and I was like, there's no McDonald's here. So I looked at the map and there was a McDonald's and then I drove to that McDonald's and he wasn't at that McDonald's. I'm like, dude, which McDonald's are you at? And I was like looking at the map and he's just like, okay, where are you? And then he found like a Tim Hortons location beside. So we just like met up there. But yeah, so
But
he
see,
let me
these
try
are the
it.
things that are the
Yeah.
inconvenience of it, right?
Yeah, so 100%. But I mean, you are getting it for a cheaper price. So I got it for 270 flat, no tax, and yeah, it's like the black model. If I had bought this in stores, it was like 449. So I was like, and plus it was sold out. I was
Okay.
looking for the black one on EB Games everywhere. Not it's GameStop now. Yeah,
It's
GameStop
GameStop.
and
Yeah.
Best Buy. They didn't have it. You could buy it online, but it's like when is the shipping date, the delivery date? But it's like 449, so it's so expensive. And my sister's like, you basically just bought a new all black one, like with what you lost from the first one that I got scammed on, and then this one, like in total, I basically bought a new one. But so, anyways, he sent me like a video of it working, and then when he's like, "Oh yeah, you want to test it out in the store?" I was like, "I've never owned a Switch, so I don't know how this works." So he had to like, he was like tutorialing me. It was so funny. It's so, but you know what the most awkward part is when you're done. So like, I'm like, "All right, cool, it works," and then I like gave him money, and he's like, "Okay, well, yeah, have a great day." Like, how do you end that? You know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then we were both leaving the store, but then he started to speed walk out of the store ahead of me, and I'm like, yeah, I just like, how do you like? We're gonna walk to the cars together, like,
Right.
yeah,
Do you have
all these
time?
inconveniences.
Yeah, that's the
What?
thing. I think these are the reasons why. Well, I'm gonna try to sell some stuff that I have, but like these are the inconvenience that I have with buying like used products for me.
Oh yeah, like using a marketplace thing.
Yeah. Like
Yeah, totally,
these are
totally.
things that would kind of like I don't know. Maybe I just like the convenience that it's like any little aspect that I'm doing too much extra. It's like this is just I'm not.
For sure, for
I don't
sure,
know if I want to waste my time doing this.
for sure. But like the price point, it's so worth. Like if I had only bought it the first time, 270 compared to like 449, it was like, okay, that's a no brainer. Let me just go pick it up. You know, like you're right. It is a little awkward, but
Not that it's awkward.
you know,
I just
you have
that's
to
why
like
I haven't done
balance
like
it.
that's why I never bought used, especially in technology. I just like
Oh yeah, yeah, totally.
right.
Yeah, that's a tough one, but like I feel like the Switch is old enough now that's like even if it craps out, it's like whatever, it was $200. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if I had bought a new one now, it's like but a newer one's probably about to come out. Because I even asked the guy, I'm like, oh, why are you selling the Switch? He's like, I just bought the OLED. And I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't need this one, right? Like, I want to upgrade. So if I were to, you know what I mean? So it's like
Hmm.
if I bought a new Switch, it's like, why don't you just buy the OLED? But then that's more money than the,
Yeah.
you know, it's like you're kind of in that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But if you just buy a used one, it's like, well, it's already old. So
That's what I'm trying to figure
whatever.
out what the price is to put for the my PS4 and Xbox. These are much older
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
devices too.
Yeah, that's true. You can sometimes like bundle them. What you could do is if you sit on them for a while and they become like retro games, you could charge way higher. So like
Mm.
if you were to buy a Super Nintendo or something now, it's probably super expensive because, you know,
Yeah.
they're all pretty much gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's my adventure with the Switch. All right, back to yeah, so always pick it up and be wary of how awkward it can get in the goodbye phase.
Yeah.
Because you're like, what do we do now? You know? Yeah. What were you saying?
No, I've only I went with a friend before, but it was like to pick up like Beats headphones. So it's like
Oh,
it
okay.
was
Yeah.
weird too. It's like you're going into the guy's house like to try
Yeah,
it out.
right?
It's like I don't know what's gonna happen
Yeah.
here. This is weird.
Yeah, totally. Well, that's why he wanted to meet in the Tim Hortons. I think he was afraid of me, actually. He was kind of like, is guy going to
Well,
rob
yeah, no,
me?
but people could, yeah, but
Yeah.
that is a possibility, right? That you know that like this
Yeah.
guy has this product, I could just grab it and go, right?
So I think that's also why he like sped walked, like he like ran out of the store. Because I
I
was
think
like,
that's
oh,
the
that's
thing too,
weird.
right? It's like there's multiple risks here, right? You don't know the person. Are they really genuine?
Yeah,
Are they here just to buy the
true.
product and go? Are they gonna try to take the product? Like you don't know. The strangers out
Yeah, yeah,
there, right?
totally, so totally. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah. Like people are like, they're like stereotypes are bad,
Mm-hmm.
but like they're real and they do come in handy. Like I saw this dude, he was like a young Asian kid, and I was like, okay, you took care of the Switch. I'm sure I get that you are just upgrading to the OLED. It's not like he seemed like an awkward Asian kid,
Right, right,
like
right.
because we met up we met up in Markham, and I was like, okay, I get it. You're like from this area, It's like he gives that vibe, but I mean, is that being judgmental and
No, I don't think so. I
stereotypical?
think that's
Yes.
that's all part of our survival. We
Right?
all we
No,
all
for
have
sure.
that.
Yeah.
No one's gonna. I don't feel like if people are disagreeing with it, then they're not really telling the truth. You know what I mean? Like,
For sure. No, no, totally. Yeah, we build up like heuristics on stuff
yeah,
all the time. We need like quicker ways to navigate through life.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so what did you see for the PlayStation showcase that you loved?
Well, it was is an okay thing. It isn't
I
like
know. It's so funny because we were just talking about that. Like the last
yeah,
podcast, like have they lost their like wonder or whatever?
yeah. Because a lot of the stuff
And
that they are working on, they didn't show. So I was wondering
oh, okay.
why it wasn't shown.
Oh, like
Like,
betas. Yeah, it's not done. There's Jimmy Bugs. Oh.
or I think I don't like. It seems like it got a bad rap on the internet. Like it wasn't like
Oh, wow.
what I mean by
The
bad
whole
rap.
showcase?
No, no, no. What I mean by that is like
The
just
games or what?
no, people weren't like people. You know how like I think there's like a couple of we've seen different PlayStation showcases before in previous years,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And this is the
Okay.
first one since the pandemic, I guess. So the one before was a couple years ago, and that was all. Like at the end of it, you're hyped.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah. I
at the
see what you're
end of
saying.
this, I was like, I wasn't like hyped for like new things. I was like, I knew these are well, or the one that what they ended off with is like, I'm expecting that anyways, right? There wasn't anything like new
Yep. Yeah. No. No, yeah. I know what you
to
mean.
get me hyped for like the next few years.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I totally get what you're saying.
But I like a lot
And
of the games that they reveal were like coming out like by the end of this year or like the start of next year or something like that. So I think maybe that's what
okay.
they're focused
Yeah.
on, just the timing wise. But like they know that there's some like a lot of stuff going on now, like in the news or like what happened? Why did they like some rumors are like they had some things but they didn't want to show it yet. Like these are the things that are not now. Like people are talking about behind the scenes kind of thing. It's like
Oh, okay. Like drama.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like did they have deals to show these things off somewhere else or like why was it a lackluster? Like yeah.
Okay. Interesting. The the thing that I noticed, like we were talking about last week, was every game kind of seems the same.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, like God of War is just like an upgraded God of War. You were mentioning Spider Man; it's like an upgraded Spider Man. So I was watching the like the stuff that was coming up in my feed, and it was the same old mechanics. Like the Spider Man thing. I was like, okay, it looks like just like a button smash timer thing, and then you could do a bunch of different combos, people in the air. There's nothing innovative. And then they even dropped the Metal Gear Solid one, Snake Eater.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's just a remake. So it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I don't know
I
if
didn't
that's
feel.
even like gameplay. I don't know if that was gameplay or not.
Yeah, yeah, no, no, it didn't look like gameplay. Yeah,
I mean, it's
but
not like gameplay, but is that how the game's gonna look or not? Like that's the thing. Yeah,
well,
like in
yeah,
game. I think that's what it's called. It's called in game footage or not, right? So, but it was like
it,
very
it,
short of a clip, so I feel like this is not coming for another 3 years or so.
yeah, yeah, totally. But even that, it's like, why are you just rinse and repeating the whole
Mm-hmm.
thing? You know what I'm saying? It's like it didn't feel innovative. It was just very.
I didn't
And that's
come
just
out.
how all games.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, innovative or not, like I didn't feel like how hyped I was in the last one that I can remember. I was just like,
Right,
well, I'm gonna get the
but
Spider-Man game
continuously.
anyways, but it's like I didn't see anything else I really wanted to get. There is one
Yeah,
indie game, but that's about it.
But see what I mean? Like, what's the console seller? And like, is the value you get from that game worth it? Like, do you really want to purchase a whole $500, $700 console just to play this game? And when I saw Tears of the Kingdom, I was like, yes, I do. And the handheldness of it, like, okay, I'm going to play in this. I see the utility.
Yeah.
You know, um, I actually watched a algorithms are so funny. YouTube. Uh, I saw this video that said why I just bought a Switch in like 2022. Like, so he waited
Hmm.
so long. And basically what he was saying is, and I think this is where I was coming at it too, the last Nintendo system, they didn't make any games for. So he thought that it was going to be the same thing. It's like you come out with this new console and then they just like, it dies, you
Right.
know? But now that it's like so many years later, all these games have already come out. You're like, okay, now it's like a safe investment. That's why he purchased it. And he's like, I can't believe I waited so long to buy this Switch.
Hmm.
And that's kind of like how I'm feeling right now. I haven't opened it and played Zelda yet, but like the game looks so good. And I'm gonna get the Pokemon one too, where you like run around, you throw the actual ball. Like I want to try those things. Like
Yeah.
those look very innovative. But the PlayStation ones, like when I saw it, like it's just like lackluster. You're right.
Yeah.
Like every game was meh. Like even the Mortal Kombat one, like
No,
eh,
I'm saying like there wasn't anything that hyped me up for a new game. Like if they showed Wolverine, or it's like The Last of Us. Like there were so many things that they have working on
right.
that they didn't show. So I was like, why? Where
But
are they
but the
at?
but what would the Wolverine mechanics be like? Would it be like Spider Man? You're just like running up like smashing, or like Batman? You know,
No, I don't know.
remember Arkham
But it doesn't.
Asylum?
I don't know. I don't know. But it's like I think feel like if I seen these things, it would have added more hype to the showcase. There wasn't any because what people were looking for was first party titles. There's only like a handful, but they're not like the major ones. Like Spider Man was the only
Okay,
major one that's first party. All there was no other first. That's what I'm saying. Like there's no other first party titles. That's what people were looking
right.
for.
Yeah, but even with those first party titles, it's like I don't see any innovative mechanics in it. What I'm saying is like the Switch seems so innovative, so you want to play it,
Sure, yeah,
or
yeah,
like the Tears of the Kingdom. Like I just saw that you actually build stuff in it.
yeah. Hmm.
Like you
Yeah,
build
yeah,
stuff
yeah,
to
yeah.
use in the world. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like it's new. Like if the Wolverine game came out with like the joystick on the right hand side is how you attack, that'd be kind of cool. Instead of pressing the buttons, it's like how you move the joystick because it's in hands. You know, if I saw something like that, I'd be like, that's pretty cool. Like, what's that going to be like?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But if it's another button smasher, you're like, I don't know. Like, do you still feel like when you played the Spider-Man Miles Morales one, you played the one beforehand, right?
Yep.
There was like two that you played,
Yeah.
right? There was so did you feel like a
Two?
huge
What do you mean? Oh,
advancement?
I mean two Spider
Wasn't
Mans.
there like yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
remember you playing one other one and then Miles Morales came out and you were like hyped about that.
yeah. The first one, the
Or
first Spider Man game.
yeah. Okay, so was there a huge leap between the first Spider-Man game and Miles Morales that you were like, "Whoa, this is crazy." Like
No, Miles Morales felt like
is more story. You're like, oh, what's Miles
no,
Morales
like
up
you know
to?
what like DLC, like a DLC, like an
Oh,
extend to
okay.
the universe because it's not like a full game like a 40-hour game, right?
Okay, yeah. But isn't this new one?
They're both in
Didn't it
it.
look like the same mechanics? No, but didn't it look like similar? Like it's the same, like kick them in the air, jump in the air, do a combo in the air,
Sure, yeah, yeah, it's probably all there.
hit
I'm
another bad
interested to see
guy.
like all the um just the Venom stuff was kind of cool. So
Yeah, yeah, I guess. Or like the Arkham Asylums, you know, like when you played the other ones, you played like I don't know, like three of them or something.
yeah, I played all of them. Yeah.
Yeah, all of them. Okay, so was there any substantial difference between them? You're like, oh,
I
this
think
is
those ones changed. What was the Batmobile in all of them, or
no, the Batmobile was new. I remember when
yeah?
that came
So
out, and
like
you were
that
pretty
was like
stoked over
I
that.
think that was like the third one or the last one. But that one was
Okay,
really good story too, because I remember like because Joker was killed at the end of the second one, or yeah,
okay.
and then Joker was in his mind, like as you played throughout the whole game.
But story aside, like mechanics wise,
Oh, it was good. Yeah, I think Batmobile thing was good.
as a new addition. But I mean, like, did it feel did it feel like so innovatively new, or was it kind of like, oh, that's just one extra feature? You know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't feel.
No, because they used the
I still
Batmobile
don't,
quite a
yeah.
bit, though, right? Like there was a lot of things where you
Okay.
needed the Batmobile. It's not like it was just an added on. I feel most of the
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
it was like you can hop in and out, but like there was a lot of scenes or areas where you need to use the Batmobile.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah. I don't know.
From
I
what I can
still
remember. But they were good games. Yeah.
maybe it'll be like the Switch. It's like I'll have to wait till near the end
I
of its
think so.
life
Yeah. I feel
before
like
I'm like, okay, this is worth it now.
but it's I yeah, that's the thing, right? I don't where are the other games that they were we know that
Right?
they're
Yeah,
working
yeah.
on, but they didn't show them off. So it's like that's where the people were kind of like this is it. This is it. This is what we were trying to wait for.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think plays
Actually,
I think after that they probably knew that they messed up. That this was not a good one.
if you think about what the new edition, like remember when PlayStation came out and then Xbox came out, we were so hyped over Xbox because like not just the game but the console itself. It's like you could save audio tracks to the console. You could play them in game. You remember like all
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
there was like a bunch of stuff added to it, right?
Hmm.
But like looking at the PlayStation 4 to the PlayStation 5, we it was the haptic controllers that were really cool about it.
Hmm.
But did it did it like was that enough? Like would you say the value of the PlayStation 5 is worth it for the upgrade? So like if you look at the PS4 and then you look at the PS5, is it so substantially different now that you've had like 2 years with it or 3 years, however many years? Like, would you say, oh no, this is a definitively different console? Or is it like the same console, just a little bit more upgraded?
I think it's just only thing is the difference is the haptics. It is in the sense just better graphics, right?
Right. Okay. So it's all marginal then. It's not like a leap forward. It's more like a iterative upgrade.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Cuz
Okay.
even the PS4
Interesting.
which is the original PS4, but then they also had a PS4 Pro which was upgraded in graphics and then now it's the PS5. So there's probably going to be a PS5 Pro. That's just it seems like it's just an iteration of
Yeah.
graphical quality here.
Okay. Interesting.
Like I don't
See
think
that,
the only thing is like I don't know what they can do with the VR. There were some
that's what's
interesting games with the VR, but um
it's not there yet.
it's I don't know. I have to see more of it, right?
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's like
Because they had quite
I
a few
thought
games for VR there.
yeah, so I thought the PS5's like biggest selling point would have been VR. You know, like you got it and
Hmm.
like I thought you'd be like obsessed with it, you know? But now that it's been a few years, you're like, okay, it's just an iterative upgrade. You know, it's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like what happened to the magic? That's all I'm saying. It's like if they had the
It
VR
that's
and then they were
I
adding
think
stuff, that'd be so sick.
yeah, I think the magic is in
You're
the
like, oh, this is
games.
a new,
Yeah, the
yeah,
magic is in the
right? But
games, right? The
like,
console is just a standalone device, right? So the
yeah, totally,
magic
yeah, yeah.
only comes from the game. So
But but the games aren't like doing as good as we thought, you know? These like worlds that we were thinking in our head for the VR are not
sure,
there
yeah,
yet.
again, it's like that. I think what you're saying is like maybe you just got to wait a couple years.
Oh
Like
yeah, yeah, totally.
if
Yeah, yeah, for
because a
sure.
lot of these development take years to actually get, and then I don't
Right.
know how much was delayed because of COVID.
True. Yeah, okay, fair, fair, fair. Cause like when I hear about all the advancements for VR, like Joe Rogan's like really into VR
Okay.
and like his friends are into VR and then he just hears about it because they're like obsessed
No,
with
I'm
it.
saying there are
But
people. I don't know. For me,
yeah.
uh,
But I don't know if he's using PS5 though. I think it might be like the Oculus.
but again, you
So
still
it
need
might
to
be that,
connect
you
to the
know?
computer and do stuff,
No,
right?
no, no, for sure, for sure. I'm just saying like we're talking
Okay,
about
okay,
games, right?
right,
So it's
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
he said that like Mark Zuckerberg showed him um a new thing they're working on where it's like a tour of a place. So you can
Mm.
go through like the Coliseum in VR and it
Okay,
feels so
yeah,
real.
yeah, yeah.
So it's like that seems pretty innovative,
Hmm.
but are we getting that on a consumer level? I don't think
I
so.
don't think so. And aren't there like almost like probably $2,000 plus for those? I think for
Yeah, totally,
those,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Where
So
the
it's just
PS,
not
yeah, where like the PSVR is much cheaper, right?
So maybe we're looking at like the PS5 in terms of its VR capabilities, more like a Nintendo 64. You know what I mean? It's like if you
Hmm.
look at PlayStation, like Xbox and PS4, or is it PS3? The one that came out at the same time as Xbox, right?
Okay.
The one before that was Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, it's great. But then when you see the jump to like Xbox, you're like, whoa, this is way better.
Hmm.
So it's like maybe we're still in the entry level phase where it's like Nintendo 64 and PlayStation.
Yeah,
You
because
know what I'm saying?
and there's still a lot of games coming for both PS4 and PS5. We're not like in the part
What?
where yeah,
Oh, they're
we're
still
not.
making games for
Yeah, that's
PS4?
what I'm saying. Yeah, it's like we're not in that
Oh,
part.
okay.
We're not in that part yet where it's just PS5. There are going to be some
Oh,
games, but we're
okay.
we're still in that transition period.
Oh, if they're still making PS4 games, it's like, what are you guys doing? You
Yeah.
didn't even shift over. I thought PS4 was dead. Huh.
No, no, because even like the Hogwarts Legacy is on both.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, so I could be playing it.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, damn. All right. That's cool. All right.
So
Well,
that's what I'm saying. It's like we're
that's
still
an interesting signal. You're kind of like,
we're
oh,
not fully into the new gen yet.
okay. Interesting. Interesting. Is there any is there any game that you're like, this is one you have to look out for after
Uh,
watching the whole showcase?
no, I mean like there's just the indie games that I like, but that I've liked like Journey. There was some with
Yeah.
Abzu. They did that. So there's this new one
But
called
Journey
Sword of the
Journey is an
Soul.
old one.
Yeah, yeah.
Journey's like, oh, they made part 2 or something?
No, 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 no. It's a different game, but it's from the same studio.
Oh, got it. Okay. So like
So
indie-ish.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So these are the ones that are like, oh,
Oh,
these are cool that I'll look forward to. But like,
okay.
there's for
Okay.
this year, it's just that, and maybe some VR games if I really get into it. I don't know. And then
Yeah.
of course, I'm getting Spider-Man 2, but that's about it, right?
Maybe we're in a lull phase for technology because even the iPhone, what is it? What's the one you just got? What's the one that just came out?
14 Pro or yeah,
Is that the one you have?
no, no, 13.
Do you have the 14? You have 13. Okay, so with the 14, so because like our contract is up for our cell phones, and then we can like change our phone for a new plan. But like my sister was asking, like, should we do it? And I'm like, like the phones aren't substantially. It's like when I went from like the 6S to the iPhone 11 Pro. It's like, whoa, this is a huge jump.
Yeah,
You know, like,
that was like a
but if you're
5 year difference, right? Something like that.
right, totally. So we're still in the like maybe we shouldn't measure technology within years. We should measure it like
Yeah,
within decades
yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's why I'm kind of like what happened in the video games because I'm looking at them like year to year, but it's
Yeah.
like year to year, it's not a big jump. But
But if
if
you do
you
really think
wait
about
10
it,
years,
yeah, a decade is a huge difference. Like if you it was 2007 when the first iPhone came, and
yeah, we're not even in 2027 yet.
yeah,
Like it hasn't been. Oh wait, no,
well,
it's
no,
been 20 years.
it's been almost 20.
2007,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. 2007 when
almost
the
20
first
years.
came
Yeah,
out, right? So
yeah,
there has been, if you look at it like 10-year gaps, it's a big leap,
yeah, totally.
right?
Okay,
To where that used to be to
so
where it is today, it's a huge leap. But I feel like year to year, it's always small iterations. It's like any other. It's like evolution, right? Year to year, it's always smaller, smaller, smaller. But like if you look at like 100-year span, it's like, oh, that's a big change.
yeah,
Or like
yeah.
for
Okay, that makes
technology,
sense.
take a look at every 5 years. Yeah.
So what you're saying is, don't go for the PS5, go for the PS6.
No, I mean PS5 is probably still going to be here. Just the game's coming out
During
later
that
on.
time, yeah, totally.
If you're still having
But if they're
if you're
making,
still having games on both PS4 and PS5, that tells you
that's a problem.
we're still not in the
Yeah,
new generation yet fully.
true, true. Okay,
But they are like, but you can tell they're selling like crazy. The PS5s.
the PS5s.
Yeah, there's like they had to remember I think there was it earlier this year where they had to give a trailer saying that you can find them in stores or
Oh
something.
yeah, totally. Yeah, for sure. I
So
remember
and
that.
even still then it's still being like pretty sold out too.
Maybe maybe it's like when consumer demand increases, i.e., we buy a bunch of PS5s, then the games will start to change. Maybe it's like because that's actually I remember I was doing a business case in university, and it was like high tech
Mm-hmm.
marketing, and what they're saying was PS2 when PS3 came out, PS2 was cannibalizing PS3
Yeah,
because people were still sticking to PS2, but
yeah,
they couldn't get
and
away from
yeah, and
just like what's
then
happening now.
right, right, and then what came out at the end of PS3's life cycle was Last of Us.
True. Yeah. Okay. Oh, right. So we gotta wait for like the end of life cycle games.
Generally, yeah, that's kind of when they're close to. But like PS3's life cycle was a long time though, longer than
Yeah. Totally.
usual.
Yeah. For sure.
But it all also
Yeah.
happened during the recession, right? That's kind
And
of when it came
maybe
out.
that's why I'm getting right. Maybe that's why I'm getting excited over the Switch
Mm-hmm.
because it's at its end of life cycle, so all the games are actually good now.
Right, right.
Yeah. Or what do you?
Just seeing like sale numbers. Just curious to know what it was.
Oh, okay, for the PS5
Yeah, let's see. Do they have it for PS5? Not yet. No. Hmm.
for this year or when? Just in
Whenever
general.
they have the yeah, just in general. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't know where to find the exact like the updated ones. Like it's like you have to look at the breakdown. I have to look at their actual report or something somewhere.
What's it looking like right now? It's increasing though, for sure.
It's saying PS5 is outselling. Let's see what this is. Outselling PlayStation 4s.
Well,
This was
one would
done.
hope.
This was April. Was it the April this year? Like the I think at the rate that it's selling.
Yeah, but like,
Not like total sales that are out there, right? At the
no,
rate
for
that
sure,
it's
for sure. But
going.
like, but wouldn't that be a bad thing if it's not outselling? You'd kind of be like, what?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. No, I mean, like, that's an expected thing.
Yeah. See. Uh. So it's saying PS4 has sold 117 million units,
Okay,
as while the PS5 has sold 34 million units.
in this year.
Uh, as of April 1st of this year.
Yeah, but that's like, yeah, but when like that would be a really bad sign if PS4 was still outselling
No,
PS5.
no, no.
Well, what a
That's
good
not outselling. That's I'm saying that's total sales that have been done so far.
over the
Yeah,
lifespan
what
of
they're saying
PlayStation. What?
over no, 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 over yeah, the time that PS4 has been out. So
The
two
entire duration.
of PS4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the whole lifespan of PS4, the PS5 has destroyed that sales
No, no, no.
to
PS4.
date.
Okay, PS4 sold 117 units.
Okay.
So
Okay.
PS5 to this date has been 35 million or
Oh,
34.4,
okay.
right?
Okay. Yeah.
But what they're saying is the rate that the PS5s are selling at, yeah,
Uh-huh.
it's faster than PS4, right? But we haven't hit the units or the total number of units that PS4 is at right now for their life cycle.
Okay. Yep.
So
I see what you're saying.
so more people have
Yeah.
PS4s.
Yep.
That's why we're still in
In
the
total.
yeah, that's why we're still in the transition period where you can't fully make games only for
Yeah.
PS5
You're right.
because
Right. Yeah.
you're
Because you're losing that whole
because you're
market.
losing that whole
Yeah.
other market. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I see what you're saying. But they're also saying that PS5s are selling at a higher rate than
The rate that
PS4.
they're yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like not like since the time of its establishment, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But it's sort of like like racing cars, there's like acceleration and top speed. So it's accelerating fast, but what's its top speed gonna be? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like the
yeah, yeah.
PS4's top speed is really high. Sure, it looks like it's going fast, but will it hit the total sales numbers of PS4? Like we don't know until later.
Well, I mean, like even with the supply constraints during COVID, that's what I'm saying. That
Yeah.
the rate has been outselling the numbers of
No, no, I,
PS4, but like
I get that. Like the
like
acceleration's fast,
yeah, it's like
but
how much has the pandemic actually like had the effect, right? Would without the pandemic, would they be already at 60 or 100? You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
but with that, no, yeah, for sure. But that's like you could say that with anything. It's like, well, what if this? What
No,
if
no,
this? You know, but
of
we're
course.
dealing
That's what
with
I'm saying. It's
right.
like right now we're at 35, so it's still pretty small.
For sure, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I'm trying to like deconstruct the marketing tactic here of like being like, oh, it's accelerating fast. It's like, yeah, but it could be a boom right now, but then it's done. You know, like how long will it keep accelerating for?
Hmm.
We won't know until
We'll only
like
know by the end
years
of the
down
life
the line.
cycle, right? So it's like it took a while
Yeah,
for like the PS3 to, you know, you mentioned the PS2 outselling,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it took a while for
Maybe that's just the
PS3
nature of
to get there, but then once eventually it beat it, but it took a longer time, I think.
yeah. So maybe it's just like the nature of all consoles.
Yeah,
It's like it will always look this way
yeah.
no matter what.
So that's why like we're not getting full PS. Well, there are some PS5 games, but again, it's like
Where we're not like reaching the maximum capability of the hardware.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right, so it's still too early to see what the power of the PlayStation has in store.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And then
Any other
they
things?
showed off
Yeah.
this handheld thing, but it's
Oh
not.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, when they released that, I was like, "Ooh, did I buy a Switch too early? Like, what's going on?"
it's not like its
But you need the
own.
Wi-Fi though.
Yeah, it's a Wi-Fi thing, so it's like you can already do that now with your
Oh, what,
phones.
what?
With your phones.
Oh, that's lame. Okay,
That's why it's like
so it's a cheat. Like,
it's
like
like
it's not
I
really.
think it depends on the price they put it at. If it's gonna be like $500, it's like that's not worth it. If it's like $150, maybe that's worth it.
Did they release the price point for it yet, or no?
No, they haven't released much. They just like they don't even have a name for it. They just called it Project Q, right?
Oh, that's lame.
So they don't have
Okay,
a name for it. They don't have, but it's supposed to come out later this year. So we'll find out later this year.
okay. And the headphone thing looked pretty cool too, though.
The headphone.
The
Oh, the
I
earbuds.
saw like yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
What-
And they're releasing all the other peripherals, I guess. Yeah, which is not something I need, but
That's sort of like an AirPod, you know,
yeah.
like
Oh,
with
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah. Talking about that, I tried the AirPods for the first time like last week. I never tried it before.
AirPods
Pro.
Pro.
Yeah.
Oh, what you think?
Well, that's pretty good actually. Yeah. I
Yeah,
was.
I know, dude. It's so phenomenal. It's so phenomenal. It's like it is a game changer. That's why I had to buy Terra One. As soon as I started using it, I was like, "Oh no, this is how you're gonna consume everything now." Like I just because the connectivity is so good, I can jump from my computer to my like phone, and then like you don't lose anything, and then you have the noise cancellation, so it just feels like it's all there.
Hmm.
Like I haven't tried the regular AirPods, so I don't really know what that's like. But AirPods Pro are
I
amazing.
feel like regular
Like
AirPods they're done, right?
okay, yeah, well I don't know what it sounds like.
No, I mean
So
like I think AirPods Pro already. There's no point in like doing more for AirPods, the regular one.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But didn't a new AirPod come out as well? There was like a more recent one,
They
like a
did, but I don't
smaller
know
size.
who's. Yeah, maybe they just want to hit
Uh,
that cheaper point level, but
no, no, I think that's what it is because like a lot of kids use AirPods, but they don't have AirPods Pro
hmm
because it's pretty expensive, like $200+ for it.
yeah.
But they're phenomenal, right? And I haven't tried the second generation, so I hear the thing with the
Well,
second
what's the difference
generation.
between the second and the other one? Just the battery
Okay, so
or something
no,
else?
no, no. Well, it's more.
Because
I was
the ones
looking
I
at.
had were the second generation. So
Okay, okay. So I wanted to buy the second generation because of the utility of it. They were saying that if you listen to the sounds, they're like really close. Like you could barely like unless you're trained for it, you're not going to be able to tell the sound difference. But with the AirPods Pro version 2, you can use like your hand to increase and decrease the volume. And I like that.
oh, okay.
Yeah, cuz like right now you have to like use your phone, which is so annoying, but like on the AirPods regular, you can adjust the volume, but on the Pro you can't, but then the Pro 2 you can.
Oh, I see.
So like
Okay.
so it's like for me that's a great convenience thing. Like I would like that, but does it justify $200 more just to buy it? I don't really know.
I'm
And there's
just
also like
gonna.
a little loop for
Mhm.
it.
Oh
What's
right,
that?
yeah, yeah. I'm just waiting for the next gen to buy one.
Oh, what? But like, when is that going to come out? Like, I thought it was going to be this next one, but how
No,
much longer?
well, the new phones are coming in September, so we'll see around that time what's coming out.
If they
And I
have a
think
new
wait, they
AirPod.
play. Apple has a presentation on June 5th for their
Okay.
new OS, and maybe there's other products. I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Yeah. AirPods Pro. It's freaking phenomenal. They're so good. But you can get them on like sale. Like, yeah, I bought them like Boxing Day, and especially if you get like the first gen. I don't think they sell the first gen anymore, actually. Because I went to the
I
store
don't
and I
think they
was
do.
looking for
Probably
them.
not at Apple. Probably other
Yeah,
places.
no, no, but not even at like, I think Best Buy. I went and they were like, "We've only got the new version." I was like, "Ah, okay." But it's so tempting. But again, it's like if the audio's can be similar, it's like, do I really want to pay another $200 just to adjust the
But I
volume
don't think
knob?
you don't get the sound what's a soundproofing or whatever it's called, noise canceling.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, for the regular Pro.
Oh right, sorry, you're talking about the second gen Pro.
Yeah. I was watching a video because when it came out, I was like, should I buy the new ones? And like the reviewer was just like, if they're the same, it's just extra features of
Okay,
like
yeah,
the volume thing.
yeah.
Although I've seen a lot of people with the over ears.
I've seen a few people. Yeah,
Yeah, I thought they wouldn't be able to like, because remember Marcus Brownlee or whatever, he was like, the weight is too heavy. But I see them using it like all the time, and they're like even talking with it. I'm like, oh, that's weird.
you could, yeah. But I don't. I think that they know it's a smaller base, right? Because it's seven
Oh,
hundred
for
bucks or
who?
$500.
Oh, okay, fair. I do live in that like rich Korean area, so that makes sense why everyone has them. And now that I'm thinking about it, because I'm like, wow, so many people use them, but it's like, oh, they also have like such expensive clothes and stuff. So it's like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
never mind. Like regular people aren't buying it. So I forgot it was
There
$700,
are a
right?
few
Yeah.
people, but I've seen a few, but it's like it's not like normal. Like it's not like usually. I said,
Yeah.
oh,
Well, here,
that's the AirPod
here it's
Max.
normal.
Yeah.
Like everyone's got them here.
Right,
That's
right,
why I was
right,
like,
right.
oh, is it just picking up? Like, what's going on? I thought
Mm,
they were just cheaper or something, but yeah, no, they just have the money for it. There
yeah.
was another. Uh, oh, this is interesting. So I'd never seen somebody use Apple Watch to take a call before. Like I've seen it. I've seen it like novelty. I've done it myself, but like I've never seen somebody actually use it where like it seems like they use it all the time.
On the streets, like
No. So it is my tattoo artist. So like as he
oh,
was
okay.
like about to tattoo me, he's like, "Oh, hey, do you mind if I take this call?" And I was like, "Yeah, for sure." I thought he was gonna pick up his phone. He just hit his watch and he started talking, but it was like in a different language. I think he's from India. So it was like Hindi or something. But he was talking, and I was like, "Oh, that's so new." Like I didn't even think people actually use that feature
Yeah.
because it's so like everyone could hear your conversation. But I think because he was using a different language, it's like not as weird. You know what I'm
True.
saying?
Yeah,
Like
it's a bit
I
odd
wouldn't know what
to
he's
do that
saying.
outside. Yeah, for me. Yeah, I've done it in the house,
It's
but
it's weird, right?
not outside.
But it was really interesting because it's like, oh, oh, you're using this. It wasn't like you're trying to be cool as you were using it. It was just like, oh, hey, can I take this call?
It's
Yeah, all right,
normal.
cool.
Right.
Click.
Right.
And I was like, oh, you actually use this feature.
Hmm.
Like I've never seen anyone use this feature. Like that's not a gimmick or they're trying to flex.
Right.
Yeah, Apple's the best, man. Like they're just so good at like everything.
That's yeah. There's some rumors on their Reality Pro or whatever they're gonna call it. I don't know for their like what's the next
Oh, they have
thing?
VR. The
Or
Reality
AR,
Pro
right?
VR.
Probably AR.
Oh, AR. Yeah,
Probably
yeah.
AR. But that's the like the rumors.
Oh, that's cool.
So we'll
Yeah.
find out.
Like laptops are getting. I'm really considering. Maybe I'll save up more money, but I'm really considering buying a new MacBook Pro. Even Tara talked about it too. She's like, because of her business and it's like taking off, but her laptop's dying. It's just
Mhm.
too old to. I mean, mine's older, but like I have a Pro, so I can like really rev the engine on it.
Yeah, yeah,
but she
yeah.
has an Air. So it's like when you rev the engine, it's braking.
Hmm.
And I use the M1 Pro, or no, M1 chip for work, the
Oh right.
new Air
Yeah, yeah.
MacBook Air, and it's like it's faster than my MacBook. Like I can rev the engine on this one. Like I'm
Mm.
like doing so many things on it, and I only broke it one time where like I saw it lag because I had so many like heavy duty programs running. But after using the MacBook Air, like I'm like I want to just get a new laptop because it'll just be so much smoother. Because even with this one right now, we're like doing this podcast on, like, I don't know if you hear it, but my fan is going crazy and like
Mm-hmm.
it's having a hard time. Even when I edit stuff, like when they release the new update for the MacBook or like the iOS, I don't know if my MacBook can take it.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's like time to just upgrade.
Right, right,
You
right.
know,
Yeah, yeah,
or would you recommend against that?
yeah. It depends on when you're gonna upgrade. If you're gonna upgrade now, I just
Yeah.
wait a few months because the new
Oh,
one's
because they're gonna
coming.
have like an announcement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
like you don't have
okay.
to get the necessarily the new one. You can also get the M2, but like we're around the corner where there's a new one coming.
Okay. Okay. Cool. 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 Yeah, but with the M1's capability, the reason why I got the Pro and the bigger size, like I have this 15-inch MacBook Pro, it's because like that was the best one at the time. But seeing how good a small laptop is, I'm like, I kind of want the convenience of having a small laptop. Because like when you travel and stuff, I'm gonna open this on the plane and like on the way back from the Philippines, edit a video. But this is just gonna be so awkward for everyone because it's so big, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
I see
But if
what
you
you
had
mean.
like a
Yeah, yeah,
smaller,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, but before the smaller MacBooks were like, oh, you're gonna run into some issues.
Mm-hmm.
Like it'll have a hard time processing or whatever. But they're so good now that even the small one is like, don't worry
Yeah,
about it.
I heard
You
they
know?
just they really recently just released the Final Cut Pro for the iPad Pro.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, interesting. And you can like move the file
I
back and
don't
forth.
know, like I think so. I'm not too sure. There must be, you just gotta watch videos. I just
Okay.
know that they released it for because it has M1 right, the iPad Pros.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So they just
Yeah.
released it. So I don't know like what are drawbacks or like is it the full feature? I'm not too sure about that.
Oh, okay,
So
yeah.
just watch some videos online for that.
But I feel like for me and my work, I'd still need a laptop versus like just going full tablet. Oh,
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna say
me,
full tablet.
yeah.
I'm saying like for travel convenience that it does.
Oh, like just editing it on there?
Mm-hmm.
No, but the real issue isn't the editing, it's the video file size. Because you have to transfer the content from the DSLR onto the computer. So if
Yeah.
the iPad, like how do you do that on an iPad?
I think you can. Yeah.
But you need like an attachment or something,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. Just like a card
Right.
reader. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like there's so many more steps. Whereas like this MacBook Pro has a card reader already
Right,
and stuff
right.
like that. Yeah. Okay. Anything else about that? I want to hit on a few other. What time
No,
we at?
47.
Oh dang! Wow, that was a long tech talk. Um, okay, let's quickly go over. Let's go over the movies because I want to talk about this one really interesting thing at the very end. So we both saw Fast 10. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I got sleepy by the end of it. I was like, is this movie not done yet?
Same, same. I was actually trying to fall asleep because I wanted the time to speed up faster, and I woke up. I was like, it's still going. Oh man, come
I
on.
was like, wait, how much time is left? This movie hasn't isn't doesn't seem to conclude yet. Like, what's going on?
Yeah,
And it
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
conclude.
yeah.
So,
Totally. That was to be continued, so that made sense. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
What did you think of Jason Momoa's? Okay, wait. So if you listen to our last podcast, I, I was kind of ripping it.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I hadn't seen it yet, but I was ripping it, and I thought because my sister texted me, and then like she saw it the day we did the podcast, I was like, "Oh, I'm about to eat my words," because she said it was pretty good.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I was like, "Okay, we'll go into this with some like open eyes."
Mm-hmm.
But then now, after you've seen it, do you think it's like an end of career kind of movie? Like, do you think it's a rev up of your career, or do you think it's a rev down of your career to be on fast?
Uh, I'm not. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think for like Jason Momoa's character, it was a very different role that he's ever done before.
Yeah. No, 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 no. Wait. Hold on. I don't think it is.
It's not.
I
Okay.
think he's trying to no, no, no. I'm just, this is a theory.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
he's trying to rebrand himself. Think about Slumberland. Oh, we didn't watch it, but the
Oh, I
way he
didn't
was
watch that.
acting in that.
It's
Okay, so
same. Oh, it's similar.
he acts similar, like very funny, and like he's not jacked
Okay.
anymore.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I think he's trying to go from like the because if you look at his career, it was like Game of Thrones. Well, it was Baywatch, but we forget about that.
Oh, really?
But it was game. He was Baywatch. Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
that's where he started. I watched his like interviews. So it really took off on Game of Thrones. So he was the muscle bound, serious guy from the way he looks. And then he just kept playing that role. He's like Aquaman, whatever, whatever. And then now I'm starting to see a transition towards how he was in Fast 10, which is like
Hmm. Okay.
comedic. It was really with Slumberland when I saw that. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, oh, you're acting kind of odd. Even his commercials now, because he's doing like a lot of commercials for like Air Emirates and stuff like that,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
going to Saudi Arabia. It's like you're kind of trying to be a comedian. He's trying to be Dave Bautista, the wrestler.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I know. I know what you're talking about. But I didn't.
Because like he played a serious. No, 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 no. You didn't feel it. I know, but I'm watching the career evolution. So
Okay.
like,
Okay. Okay.
Dave Bautista, he did the same thing. He was like this muscle bound. He was in Guardians, right?
Yeah.
We'll get to Guardians after. And he was like just a brute. But now he's trying to do like more dramatic roles, more comedic roles. If you watch like Glass Onion, he was like very funny. I think he's awesome. He's great. Like in the Army of the Dead, he
Yep.
was action plus comedy. So it was like he was slowly transitioning. So I feel like Jason Momoa is doing the exact same thing. He's trying to transition his career into like a more comedic sense. But the question is, did it land? So what are your thoughts?
Hmm. I didn't. I felt it was more like weird or creepy. I don't know if it felt necessarily comedic from him.
Okay. Well, what do you mean weird and creepy though?
No, it's
Like,
like I don't know if
wait.
it's
Was it
comedy or it's like
okay? Wait. So when you said weird and creepy, I was like, it was weird and creepy too. But was it weird and creepy in a good way, where you're like, oh, this is a weird and creepy character, like Dahmer, weird and creepy, or
no,
was it weird and
not
creepy
like
like,
Dahmer, not like Dahmer. Like
was it cringe?
yeah,
Is that what
it's a
you're
bit
thinking?
maybe it's a bit of that. Yeah, there's a little bit of that. Yeah,
It's
I'd say that. Yeah,
it's
leaning
like when you
towards
said weird.
cringe. Yeah,
So when you said weird and creepy, I was like, that could go good or that could go bad.
that's true. Yeah,
Like
yeah, that's true.
Riddler in the Batman, weird and creepy.
Yeah.
Jason Momoa in Fast 10, cringe. It was like weird and creepy cringe.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
know
yeah, yeah.
when yeah, but my sister loved it. I didn't get it. I was like, what are you talking about? He's so weird. She's like, oh, you just don't know those kinds of characters. I'm like,
Did she
what?
watch Slumberland or like maybe but again, I didn't watch Slumberland either though. But
No, no, she works with like mental health patients. So
right.
she's like, they do act like that.
Okay. Okay.
So it's like, okay, maybe
She
they
has a
act like
different
that,
experience. Yeah.
right? Because like they were trying to say, because I was like, why is you acting like that? She's like, oh, you fell asleep when they were explaining how he's like bipolar.
Mm.
Do you remember that? And like they were talking about his
Yeah,
like
I think
medical
so.
history.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I was like, yeah, but
But it didn't
it
seem
was
like that.
cringe.
But when they introduced him as a character, it didn't seem like that. You know what
No,
I
it just
mean?
seemed like he was cringe.
Like he's just like
He
a
like
bodyguard type at first.
in the beginning,
Yeah, in the beginning. Yeah,
and
that's
then
what I'm
all of a
saying.
sudden he became cringe.
That's what was kind of like. Wait, how did
The
it?
disconnect.
Yeah, how did that happen? Yeah.
So your dad died and you just became weird. But then there was so many scenes where he was trying to like be serious. He was trying to be the old like in the beginning he looked like a bodyguard. Like you're right. He played that same role like
Yeah.
serious, right?
Yeah.
And then when he showed up in Charlize Theron's hideout,
Hmm.
remember? And he killed everyone. You're like, oh, he's that bodyguard. He's gonna be an amazing killer. And then he started to make these jokes, and you're like, wait, what's going on? And
Yeah.
he became. Remember, he's like, everyone look at your phones, and you're like, what? And then he has like them
Yeah.
all hostage,
True. True. Yeah. Yeah.
and then he was trying to make it like funny, but it was coming off cringe,
Yeah.
right? Remember when
Yeah.
he's painting the toenails? The most. My sister was like, I can't wait till you see this one scene. And I was like, oh, what scene are you talking about?
Yeah.
And then when
Yeah.
I saw the painting of the toenails, I was like, oh, this is probably what you're talking about. So what do you think about when you saw him with ponytails? Cringe, right?
Yeah, what? Like, I don't understand what I'm
Oh,
watching.
yeah, so you're like, what? that's, that's how the whole movie felt for me. What am I watching right now?
Like, I
Like,
can't. I don't know if I can take this as a like serious bad guy here. Like, what's
yes, Thank you. And they're trying to paint him as like this renegade ultimate killer, but he's also being weird, and you're like, what's going on?
Like, is he?
The
I don't know. Is
disconnect
he
was.
supposed to be like a criminal SJW? Like, what's going? Like, I don't
That's
understand.
what I thought too. That's what I thought too. I thought he no, but I think he was playing that role to like fit into society. It's like with what's going
Yeah,
on in
yeah,
society
yeah. I
right now,
think so.
right?
I think
So
so.
he's like,
Yeah.
it was so weird.
Maybe
It
that
was.
is the metaphor. I don't know. Just,
It's a weird time.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah,
what's going on? Yeah, the scene where he's painting the toenails with the ponytails in his hair. It's just like, what are you doing, bro?
Mm.
Like, I don't get this art direction right now. But I felt like the whole movie was like that too. Remember when oh, what's his name? The other wrestler, John
Oh, John
Cena,
Cena. Yeah.
came to save the kid,
Mm-hmm.
and they were doing like the buddy cop thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, where they're like,
I had to
he's
like,
like, this is the music.
yeah, I
You're
had to
like, what are
remember
you
like
doing right now?
like who he was, like what character he was. It took a while too.
Same, same. I was like, what? He's like Uncle, whatever. I was like, what? Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He's Dom's
when
brother.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
okay. But like when they were in the car and they were listening to the music, and then he's like, "This music has soul." And they started doing the dance. I was like, "Oh my god, this is super cringe." That's what the movie was, bro. It's a cringe movie, right? Like if we
Yeah,
boil
yeah,
it
yeah.
down, that's really what it is.
No, I
Everything was
think
so
I get
cringe.
it. I get it. I think it's still gonna do well because it's just
I don't know why my sister liked it, bro. I
that's
was
what I'm
like,
saying.
"What are you doing? What are you talking
There's a
about?"
lot of people that liked it. So
I asked my dad too. Actually, I was like, wow, that's a dumb movie. And my dad's like, I just like action. And I was like, oh, you didn't pay attention to the story at all. Okay. He just wanted
uh,
to see the cars, do some weirdness.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it's that.
But it was so unreal. Like,
Oh, of course, yeah,
why
of
is the
course.
car like with the safe and the bomb? It's like, how strong is your damn car, bro?
Yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah.
going like 160 with that thing. That thing is easily a ton.
Mhm.
What kind of engine are you running?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That
But
made no
again,
sense to me.
yeah, where you had to add some disbelief or whatever. Yeah,
Fantasy?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a weird movie. Okay, what do you think of Guardians?
I really like Guardians.
Same, same.
I really
Was
liked
it the
it.
best one though?
The best one? I'd say yeah. For me, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I really
My
liked
sister said the same
Rocket
thing.
Story.
Okay, yep, I can see that. I can see that. The PETA aspect of it, where it's like the animal cruelty,
Yeah,
like the animal testing and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
I got that. Like, I felt it. I was like, "Ooh, yeah,
Mhm,
this is not good. Like, we shouldn't be doing this." Like, I didn't think about it from those animal perspectives, you know.
mhm.
Like even for like science, right? Like they'll like kill mice for
Sure.
scientific reasons, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But like when you see it in that context with like their friendship, you're like, oh, these are life forms.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So that touched me there, but I don't know if I would say I liked it the best one. I almost like the first one the best still.
Yeah, I'm only thinking between the first and the third one. The second one
Oh yeah, yeah.
is a
I don't even
no-no.
remember the second one. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, what happened in the second one? That's weird.
Yeah, it was a weird one. But I think it's just because I liked the Rocket story. I just preferred like learning about his past and his history and
No, for
like
sure,
why
for
he's
sure.
the way
I'll,
it
I'll
is. I
give you
think
that
that's
one.
why I liked it more. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good aspect of it. Like Rocket Story was good.
Like there
Yeah,
were
I'll give
so
you that
many
one.
things on the internet where I saw was like why was he asking for this guy's leg, or like why was he like he's just all these like mechanical parts because it just reminded him of his friends. And he's just
Oh wait, what do you mean?
like even in the
Oh,
first movie, it's like yeah, can you just give me that guy's
oh, they were
leg?
going deep.
Yeah,
Oh,
like people were
interesting.
making that connection on the internet, but like all these things, these mechanical things, right? It's like this is all related to his history.
Oh, that's so interesting. Yeah, I didn't catch that. Oh, okay, okay. That's cool. That's cool when they do that. They like
Hmm.
really tie in everything together. Um,
Well, this is all James
yeah.
Gunn, right? The new guy that's leading DC now.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was like, yeah, James Gunn. I was like, who is this guy again? Didn't he do like Suicide Squad or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He's
He's
great.
like the head of,
Um,
or like leading the new DC universe. So
okay, cool, cool. All right, quick pause here because I drank too much Monster, and
okay,
I'll jump right back. One
yeah,
second. All right, back. Um, yeah. So with Star Lord, did you think they're actually going to make another um Guardians with Star Lord as the leader?
but I think he's
Or do you
done
think no,
as.
but at the end,
I
do you see
saw
the
that,
ending?
but I don't know what that meant because
Star Lord will
I
be
thought he
back.
was actually done. Like he's done with the Guardians now.
Oh, really? No, I think it was Dave Bautista. Like I was like seeing an interview where he's like, he doesn't want to play Drax anymore.
Maybe they have something for Disney Plus, or like
Oh, could be. Okay, that makes sense.
maybe they just
Okay, that
have
makes sense. Yeah, that makes
maybe
sense. That
that's
makes
what
sense.
it is. Like maybe like it's like the stuff that happens on Earth. If that's the
Oh,
scenario,
okay, so he's not going to be with Guardians anymore.
yeah, I think the Guardians are done. Yeah,
Okay, cool. Um, yeah, or unless they do it with Rocket, he's the new leader and stuff. So
yeah, that's kind of what they left it as, right?
yeah, yeah. So we'll
But
see.
well, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. I just don't know what the future is for Marvel right now. So
I'm not feeling it.
yeah,
The Flash thing looks cool though. Like DC's like killing it. It looks amazing.
yeah, we'll see how that goes. Yeah.
Blue Beetle too looks awesome. But
Mm-hmm.
is that Marvel? Blue
It's
Beetle?
all DC.
No. Yeah, okay. So it looks amazing too. Yeah, DC's like doing some amazing stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um it's I think was it the last podcast where we were talking about the blood pressure thing?
Might have been.
Okay. So it's interesting. Now that it's been 2 weeks, uh the I've been like eliminating certain things, and then that's why I introduced Monster back into my diet because it's actually not that it was the espressos. So I'm back down to 122 over like 84. It's not 120 over 80, but it's in normal range now. I was still drinking because I was like, okay, let me not just completely eliminate everything. So I like still drank like the coffee and like the a little bit of Monster like I'm doing right now. Wild that it's like one little thing really like sparks the because you were talking about like elimination diets like before getting rid of
Yeah.
everything, like just start like minusing one thing and then you figure out exactly what it was. Yeah, so beware espressos, people. I still see like videos of people making these like espressos like I did. I'm like, what are you drinking? Because that was killing me, you know?
Uh,
Yeah, wild. Anyways, um anything else about those two movies?
uh, no. I mean, yeah, no.
Okay, definitely worth watching Guardians.
Yeah.
I don't know about the theater though. Like, there's so few movies that I'm like, you should watch this in the theater. Like Tenet was great, although the audio was a little bad. The uh, Top Gun had to see it in theater
Mm-hmm.
because of, like the audio. I don't know. I feel like you could wait for Disney Plus for this one. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good, but it was like there wasn't any like theater thing where you're like, oh, I should watch this in the
Right.
theater.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so how much time we got? I should have a
We're
couple more
just an
things.
hour. We 1 hour 4 minutes in.
Oh, perfect. Okay, cool. So have you seen The Bear yet?
No,
No,
I haven't seen
the
it.
chef
I
movie.
had it on the thing, but there's so many other things that came up to watch that I haven't.
Yeah, totally. It's just a cool story. It reminds me of like an anime. Because Tara's like, "Why are you obsessed with this show?" And I'm like, basically, he is the best chef, one of the best
Mm-hmm.
leading up chefs, and then his brother dies, and then leaves his kitchen to his like chef brother in the will. So the brother comes back home and wants to like revamp it,
Yeah.
but all the people are like regular workers, like they're not chefs.
Mm-hmm.
So you could see like his ability as like it's like when you have like the swords master and then he's teaching them all how to become swords masters. See, like it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
So I really like that aspect of it. Yeah. Good movie. Good show. I mean, yeah. Okay. The last thing I want to talk about is Neuralink approval for FDA human trials.
Yep.
Do you see this?
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay, I think we are. I think it's over. I think this is the beginning. Like, I think we are the last breed that knew what it was like to be separate from technology.
Sure. Yeah,
Really
yeah,
think about
yeah,
that one.
yeah, yeah,
Really think about that one.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we grew up in a time where we watched the internet get developed, and we watched its infancy. We were outside playing. We had no cell phones. Like, before, when you're a kid, it's like you could be in some craziness, right? Like, we went through like Twin Rivers with bikes, and like one of us could have been hurt, whatever. But
True.
now, and then our parents, right? You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Our parents had no idea what was happening,
yeah.
right? But now it's like, just check your location. You're
Yeah.
like, what are you doing in the middle of Twin Rivers? Weren't you guys biking? You know what I'm saying? Something like that. Or like we would bike to like the Pickering power plant,
Mm-hmm.
got done. It's like your parents will know what you're up to at all times. And like we had to wait every week to download episodes, and it was such a mission to find,
Yep. Yeah, yeah,
all this stuff. Like, I'm watching Naruto right now, right? And I'm like, oh, I'm burning through this. But it's because it's all available online.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I remember waiting week after week, and it felt like such a journey just to get to, you're like, what's going to happen next to like Itachi, and like you don't know until 2 months later, and you're like, oh, okay. But now it's like, oh, I know in 2 days. I'll know
Yeah,
exactly what happened.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Our attention span is getting shorter and shorter in that sense, right? It's like,
Oh, yeah. It's feeling like, oh, this doesn't feel as grand as it did. Like, the
yeah, yeah,
story is
yeah.
amazing. Like, it's the best anime I've ever watched,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't feel like a grind anymore.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like I'm just watching it. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, that's cool. Oh, wow, this is a great story. But it's not like there's no anticipation,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like with this Neuralink FDA thing, we're about to see it go into a whole different level where it's like we will never go back to nature.
Yeah, no,
It's
I don't know.
done.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, you might want to, you might think you're going to, but no kid now is going to like not grow up without the internet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, even
No, I mean, it's like no, it's like I'm just saying like what phones have done, right? All the kids that are growing up
yeah,
now, they grew up with technology. Like, how do you use a rotary phone? What's a rotary phone?
yeah,
Right? It's like
yeah,
it's
100%.
like all the old stuff is done. It's gone.
Yeah, yeah. Even things like GPS, right? Like, I was trying to get home driving, and we were like, or like, okay, we'll go back to the Switch actually for GPS, because I was trying to meet up with a guy. So he was sending me the location. Before, it would have been like, okay, at this intersection, there should be this thing there. We'll
Mm-hmm.
meet up at that thing.
Yeah.
But now it's just like, punch this into your GPS and we'll meet at this location.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the future. We're in the future,
Mm-hmm.
you know? I think we're in like the middle. Like, if we go back to consoles, it's like we watched the beginning of the console development, but where we are now is like midpoint. And I think, how we're talking about at the end of the life cycle of the console, you're going to see the true power of the console. I think
Yeah.
we're entering the end of the life cycle for the old way,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
especially with this FDA Neuralink thing. So if people don't know what Neuralink is, it's like you're putting computers in your brains, essentially.
Yes.
Like,
Yep.
what, give it 10 years, everyone's going to have one to some capacity.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not everyone. All right, I won't say everyone. It'll be like cell phones, though. It'll be like, if they made it not painful, then everyone would have one.
Yeah.
But like,
If it's a
if you have to go through
success,
this,
it's got to be a success.
and also not painful, because
True,
if it's
true.
success, if it's a
Well, yeah,
success
I
but
think it's like
painful, then nah.
it'd be like a surgery thing. Like you're out, like you're out, like you're sleeping with
Yeah,
it.
but still, I don't
I
want to
guess.
like. But I also don't want to. That's like you're killing a day, bro. Like, what are we doing out
True.
here?
Yeah.
You know, or like I don't know. They'll figure that part out. But just looking around at the world, it's so different than when we were kids. Even to go so far as like, I heard Michio Kaku talk about this. We're becoming a one world civilization. We're
Mhm.
entering into that stage. And what he means is like, this is before we go interstellar or like interplanetary. Like there's different stages before you become a interplanetary species. And the stage before interplanetary species is a one world culture,
Mhm.
right? And he was saying that if you look at things like Gucci, Balenciaga, like North Face, they're all one world styles. Everybody knows what a Gucci is. Everybody knows what
Right.
North Face is. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like it's like whereas before you had multiple different iterations, it's like there's brands that we all gravitate towards. Electronic music, rap music, those are things that we're all
Mhm.
gravitating towards. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And I feel like looking around at other people as well, it's like we are morphing into a more universal society with weirder expressions. Like tattoos are commonplace now. It's not like, or maybe it's where I live, I'm not sure, but I'm noticing more and more people with like tattoos, and it's not a weird. Before it was like, oh, this is counterculture, this is weird, but
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
it's like, oh, you just bought one. It's like a Gucci bag. Oh, you just bought a Gucci bag. You know, before you'd see a Gucci bag, you're like, oh, that's so expensive, bro. How are you gonna wear that? You know, whatever. But now it's like you just save up, you buy it,
Mhm.
you go to the store. You know, it's like it's becoming everything's becoming so normalized in this like universal way that it wasn't before, thanks to the internet.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that's just like one bit of signaling before we enter into this like hyper digital space. You know?
Mhm.
Like, I don't know, like it's not that we're addicted to technology, it's we are symbiotic with technology. Because people are like, oh, you're addicted to your phone, you're addicted to technology. I'm like, no, there's a symbiotic relationship here. I need that phone to figure out what time the store closes. I need that phone to figure out how to get to the store.
Yep.
You know?
Mhm.
Oh, something's broken. I need that phone to figure out how to unbreak it. You know what I mean? It's
Yep.
like, it's not that you're addicted to technology now. It's like we have a symbiotic relationship with
Mhm.
technology. Technology needs us to charge it every night
Yeah. Yeah.
to stay. Do you get what I'm saying? It's not like before where you had a phone, but you still lived in the quote unquote real world. Like, do you get what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like we would go out on a bike ride, bring your phone with you, the tool, but now it's like bring your phone with you because you need it.
Mhm.
You know, just everything about our life is so intertwined with technology that it's like I really don't see us going back from this point. And I feel like Neuralink was the final signal for me. It's like, oh, you're going to implant tech into your body, and FDA is approving this
Mhm.
for
Yeah.
trials.
Yeah.
And we know how successful Elon Musk is at getting things done. He invented ChatGPT. No, he didn't invent it. He helped found it. Everyone's obsessed with ChatGPT. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like it's a very high success rate of getting things done. Where they're using SpaceX, you're getting satellites into space.
Yep.
Like if you think that Neuralink isn't going to be successful, you're crazy.
Mhm.
His track record is so good. So with all that in mind, it's like it's over. Like we are symbiotic with technology.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, what are your thoughts?
Um. Nothing. Yeah. I mean, it's that's what they were waiting for, right? They were doing all the animal trials, and now this is the first
Yeah.
set to do human trials. So
But the crazy part is, did you see they made a monkey play ping pong?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's a monkey. What are we gonna do as humans?
Mm-hmm.
We have more faculties to like utilize.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's like their main first focus is all like people with certain disabilities, right?
yeah, but that's like a stepping stone. Like
It's a
you,
stepping stone, but it's like as once you can read, like I don't know how they're gonna do it, but it's like saying someone that is in a wheelchair to walk again, right? It's just
yeah,
you just cured something here that then you know what I
yeah.
mean. Like what is this? What are other things that are capable of it doing?
Oh, remember last? I'm pretty sure it was last week we were talking about um, the how do you capture a moment,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's like, oh, you just take a still of it.
Right, right, right.
How do you capture a series of moments? Like it's just 34 frames per second, right? 34 stills over 1 second. So with that
Mm-hmm.
in mind, how do you like make somebody who's crippled walk again? Technology. See what I'm saying? It's like we didn't expect that to be the solution. We thought it was going to be some sort of surgery. We thought it was going to be some sort of like
Sure.
medicine. But
Mm-hmm.
it's like, oh no, just get a robot to do it. It it solved the same thing. How do you capture a moment through an unexpected means? 34 photos played in succession.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah,
You know, and I think this is our solution. This is our gateway into full symbiosis with technology.
yeah,
Right?
yeah, 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 yeah.
How could it not be?
Yeah, this is the first time we're
Like
ever doing this, right? So of course.
we're actually implanting, and then the crazier part is once people with disabilities become better than people with no disabilities, now it's a race to fix ourselves. Like
Mm-hmm.
CRISPR, remember like gene editing?
Yep.
Maybe you don't even need gene editing anymore because you just have like the robot give you whatever you want in that moment. Or like cancers too, you just like inject nanobots and the nanobots will
Yeah, I
go
was about
kill
to
the
say.
cancer,
Yeah, yeah.
right? We're we are so there. Like this is the final stage of evolution for human beings. I really believe this that it's like we've created it's almost like if you look at the evolutionary timeline, you see like monkeys in trees, they came down, then they took like psychedelics or whatever, and they like grew their brains, they learned how to hunt, and blah blah. We built these societies. But that's like nature taking its course. The next step is for nature taking its course is those animals figure out how to make themselves better
Yeah,
using their own cunning.
we are creating our own evolution,
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
not
exactly.
controlled
Yeah,
by
yeah,
nature. Yeah.
yeah. Well, we are nature, so technically
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it is
I know
still
what you
nature
mean, but
doing.
it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
not
yeah.
not
No, no, no,
controlled
yeah, no,
by means that we have no control over.
yeah, yeah. We're actively choosing what we want to evolve into,
Yeah.
and it's like it's scary but exciting.
Mm-hmm.
There's a word that Terry uses like nerve sighted. I'm like nerve sighted. You're like nervous and excited.
Right, right, right.
Because it's the same feeling about being excited and nervous. It's just like I don't know which way it's going though. And like to me, technology like this next step is making me nerve sighted because I'm like this really I don't know if people see it, but it could be the end of like humanity as we know it.
Mm-hmm.
Not like death, but like how I said, like when we were kids, we didn't need the cell phone. We just bike around. Those days are gone. And it feels like with Neuralink, those days are about to end as well. Like what we think we know is like
Right, right, right.
it's nothing compared to where we're gonna go.
True.
I was listening to Howie Mandel on Joe Rogan. They brought up two interesting points. You know Howie Mandel,
Yeah, yeah.
the comedian? Yeah. So he was on there, and one thing he said is he's investing in this technology, this like holographic technology. And what he hopes to do is you'll have a room full of people, and you can hologram in um, an entertainer. So
Mm,
if an entertainer is like booking, you won't be booked, you won't be bound by flights and like capacity anymore. It's more who wants to watch them
right.
because they'll still be there and they can interact with the audience. He was saying it's not like one way, it's like the entertainer will also see the audience, you know? So like
Okay.
you could have that in person experience in multiple locations simultaneously. That's what he's working on.
Right. That's a
It
bit of it.
sounds ridiculous.
That's a bit of AI. It seems like that would be in there, right?
Yeah, true. I guess I had to figure out how to do it. Yeah. You
No, I
didn't,
mean
is
like
that what you
being
mean?
able to communicate with people, or like that's an AI
Oh,
thing.
no, no, no. That is that one. Yes. I know what you're talking about. Like if they're already dead.
No, not
Is
just
that
even
what
if
you
they're
mean?
dead. They don't have to be. They could just be a copy of them, right?
Oh, okay. No, no. That's not where he was going with this one. Yes,
Okay.
you could do that. You could do that. No, what he's saying is like you would scan the artist and then the artist would just be in multiple locations at one time. And the artist could also see the audience in those multiple locations.
Yeah, I just feel like I get that, I understand that, but it's like I could just make a copy of myself. You know what I mean? Like I
No,
don't
no,
have
for
to
sure.
be
But
there.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, totally, totally. Like you can license your likeness.
Likeness, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, Howie said he did that. He licensed his likeness to someone in South Korea
Okay.
who's like, they're doing something with artists right now for that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And Bruce Willis did that. He just signed off
Oh
his
yeah,
likeness,
yeah.
you know? So it's like, these are all the next step. And then if you introduce a Neuralink, it's like, yeah, you just play it in your brain
Mm-hmm.
because there's no difference between like real life and physical life if it's all in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then the other thing that was interesting about that podcast is Joe Rogan brought up an interesting way for how AI can kill us. So what he's saying is that if you were an AI sentient program, you would never go to war with us, right? Like they know about nuclear bombs. They know about like they would like they've seen Terminator. They would just attack us, right? It would be that kind of war. So instead, what they do is they give you infinite, like not access, but like infinite tools. Like you have all the money, you have all the best experiences. You know, they just give you dopamine whenever you
Yeah,
want
yeah,
it,
yeah.
etc. They kind of like nullify you, right? But when they nullify you, you're kind of like, well, why would I want to procreate? I'm just gonna live my life in this way. Like, why would I want to watch another? We're seeing that now with like lower birth rates, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you could essentially just kill us all off by waiting, by giving us the best time ever, and then just like waiting for us to die.
Right.
Because for AI, there's no time. It's
Hmm.
just a waiting game. There would be no war. We'd just kill ourselves off by
True. Yeah,
being
yeah, yeah.
like,
Right.
I don't want to do that.
Right. Or making
It
us
makes
fall in love
sense,
with robots, and we can't procreate either.
right? And you can't procreate either. Yeah. No, but all those things, right? And he's saying like, if the AI was that intelligent, they would know our tendencies. And that could be why you see like rising crime, complacency, all this stuff. Like AI could be pulling the strings right now. We don't even know it.
Yeah, I don't know. That felt like when you were first explaining it, it's like why can't they just plug us in like in the Matrix pods and just
That could be the next step. That's what he
that's
said too. Like that
okay.
could be the next step
That's
too.
what it reminded me of.
Yeah. Instead of like making it so laborious to do it in physical reality, just like with the Neuralink, you're already
Right.
like if you watch the Matrix, they plug themselves in, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's Neuralink. Just like it's more rudimentary, not rudimentary. It's just like more
Manual.
aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to like. It's sort of like you know what's gonna happen. We're gonna watch the Matrix just like we do Star Trek now. You know we have Siri,
Yep.
right? And then if you watch Star Trek before, you're like you see Siri there,
Mm-hmm.
but it's so rudimentary. It's like
Right.
you
Right.
know when
Right.
he's like talking to the computer, and then he's like Captain out. You don't even need to do that. You just hang up the phone,
Mm-hmm.
right? It will be the same thing, but ours will be more sophisticated,
True.
right?
Yeah.
And Neuralink is the exact same thing as the Matrix. You're plugging your head into the giant machine, but it's more sophisticated. You won't see a giant machine you'll see it's just be a wire implanted into our brain.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We are literally creating everything that we warned ourselves against through movies. Did you see the Terminator robot that melted itself and then remade itself?
No. What?
Okay, so they made a robot and they put it in a bar, like behind bars, and then through magnetics, it melted its like form, went through the bar, and then recreated itself on the other side. And then the next video was like they showed the Terminator and like, oh, we've just created the Terminator. So it's like we saw that that was a problem, but we went ahead anyways. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Movies are always doomsday scenarios, right? So we always think
True.
we have positive ideas at first, right? That's kind of why our Neuralink is there. But then eventually, where it goes from there is the different thing, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Like
Yeah.
the internet was just to connect us, right? Or even social media is just
Yeah.
to connect us.
Relay messages and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
But then now
And
social
now
media
it's
is
like,
the manipulation, right? So it's like,
yeah, totally. Yeah, yeah. And social media is like how we access everything.
yeah.
Like if you want to access things quicker, like to sign into stuff, just sign with your Facebook account. It's
Mhm.
become so commonplace in what we do in our day to day. But actually, though,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like all these things that we saw start up, like Facebook, it's now like like you need it. The email, you need it.
Hmm.
And there's no going back. Like, I don't know anybody. Like, what are you going to do in the world without email? How am I going to get a hold of you?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not even like we can turn back and then you're going to be like, no, I'm not going to get that Neuralink. No, you're going to get it. We all have cell phones.
Yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah.
going to get it.
Right, right, right.
But when are you going to get it? That's really the question.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course.
That was tripping me out a lot.
Well, that's what they were
Yeah.
waiting on, anyways. Well, we knew that this was coming. It's just like when it was going to be approved. So now
But when
it
I saw it, I was like,
starts.
oh, no, but like, it's like you still have regulation holding it back. For
Yeah,
me,
yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, those are great trials,
True, true, true.
but you haven't been approved. And then when I saw this FDA approval, I was like, okay, it's done. It's over. Like, you make somebody walk, you make a blind person see. What are you doing? There's no going back.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Any final thoughts on that?
No, just interested to see what happens next, I guess.
I am very interested. I'm nerve sighted for the next 5 years. Like I don't even know. And dude, the alien stuff too is getting wild too. What Joe Rogan was saying too, I was like, that actually kind of makes sense. Is maybe all life in the world ends up building technology, and then that technology they end up merging with that same technology. Like all
I think it
intelligent
makes
life.
sense. I think it would make sense. If you have to travel far, you can't do it in the organic body.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. This like no, like so much is coming out about alien stuff. Like I know you're not as into it as me, but like I'm paying so much attention to it, and it seems like it's just so undeniable that they're here and around us, and people are coming forward constantly. That like, are we going to see something in the next year or two, or they're just going to be like, yeah, aliens are here?
Hmm.
But like for real though, like it sounds ridiculous. Do you know what's so? All right, you know what's actually so funny? Okay, I was at dinner with Tara's family and my family. Okay, and it's almost, and I made this joke, like when you know too much, it's like it sounds weird, but it's real, right? So I was like, did you know that in Singapore they'll kill you for drugs? And then her sister was like, no, it's 2023. They won't do that. I'm like, I swear. And then she's like, well, how are they going to kill you? I'm like, hanging. And she's like, they're going to hang you in 2023. And I'm like, I swear to God, they're going to do it. And she's like, no, I don't believe you. So I pull out my phone. First thing I Google, they will kill you in Singapore.
Hmm.
And then she's like, wait, what? And then I was like, how will you be killed for drugs? Hanging.
Yeah.
it sounds so ridiculous, but like these things that we're talking about, like UFOs, Neuralink, it sounds so ridiculous. But when you find out it's real, you're like, what?
Hmm.
But then it's like, how are more people not turned on to this? How are they not, but I mean, like, we all have our interests. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
when you know something it sounds so ridiculous. You're going to be able to see, blind people will be able to see how with a wire in their brain. No way.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, and they got FDA approval. No way. You show them the thing, you're
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah, true.
real.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it sounds so ridiculous, but these things are really happening in our life right now.
Yeah, a lot of things are happening. People just, it's where we pay attention to, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
That's the main thing.
I don't even know what's going on with the war in Ukraine right now. So
Yes,
like,
same.
somebody could blow my mind with that.
Yeah.
But do you think we're in like the most exciting time to be alive, or the most turbulent, or like this is the worst time to be alive? I don't know.
No, you can't say that. How would you know if this is the worst time?
Yeah, true. I don't. I'm sure the people in Rome when they were getting the plague, they thought that was the worst time to be alive. That
Sure. Yeah,
probably
yeah,
is
yeah.
the
But
worst
like
time
a
to be alive.
beginning, I don't know. Maybe it's for the people that had the COVID, the early COVIDs. That's their worst time to be alive, right?
Oh
So
yeah, totally.
it
Yeah. No,
depends
no, but
on.
like there were some plagues where you're like bleeding through every
No,
orifice.
no,
Like
oh
that's
yeah, no. There
crazy.
was worse than that. So it's like if you look at it like that, right? Like the
Yeah, yeah,
even
totally.
even like the our in this kind of like in our century, there was a worse plague with the Spanish flu, right?
You're
Which
right.
is worse
Exactly.
than
Yeah, yeah,
actual
totally.
COVID. So
Yeah. So worst time to be alive is like it's relative.
yeah,
But do you think this is like I'm gonna venture to say that this is probably the most pivotal time to be alive. I think we really are watching the next evolution of humanity right before our eyes. It's not like if you're like, oh yeah, but technology happens all the time. It's like, yeah, but Greece to Rome was not a crazy step. That was
yeah.
just a
I
division,
think
you know?
our time in the sense of in the last 100 years, the amount of things that have changed,
Guess what I mean?
like
Yeah.
that's
Like this is a crazy time
that
to be
hasn't
alive.
like planes only invented 100 years ago.
That's what I mean. So it's like you have all of
Cars invented
this,
100 years ago. Like
right? So you have like thousands and thousands of human history where it's all being done the same way. It's like, yeah, we're just gonna build kingdoms, we're gonna have horses, blah blah blah. But now we're actually in a point where we're space traveling. We're having
yeah,
AI, we're having a
that's
robot
true.
friend.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's wild
I
when
mean,
when you really look at the timeline.
it was even a shorter time, right? Technically, like the
Yeah,
space, like going to space to when the car was created. There was even a shorter
yeah,
time to that, right? Like 40 years or 50 years, something like that. It's like
yeah, yeah.
wasn't that long ago.
So you have thousands of years of same old same, then all of a sudden something happened and we just exploded. Some
Mm,
people theorize, I don't believe in this though, but some people theorize it's like alien technology. So when the Roswell thing crash landed and then like
sure.
technology
Yeah,
sped
yeah, yeah,
up,
I've heard that. Yeah.
maybe, I don't know about that. But, or maybe the Industrial Revolution is what sparked it because we were able to use like oil now at a higher rate. We could build cities, we could build, we could really think.
Yeah.
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 But there's really no other time in human history that's like right now.
Hmm.
But for real though, like
Yeah.
really think
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
And I think we're at the end of the life cycle for the humanity console.
Yeah.
Like to go back to like
Yeah,
video
yeah,
games,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
We're
yeah. We're hitting version 2 of ourselves or whatever. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And then once that happens, they'll still have like some original version people still hanging on.
Yeah.
Just like you have the PS4 people and
True.
it won't fully migrate to the PS5 till like much later.
Yeah.
Like it's really wild to think about that like my cousins will not know life without technology, life without an
That's
iPad.
crazy. Hmm.
Wob's kid will not know life without social media
Yeah.
and will sound so old to him, being like, oh yeah, like We used to bike around with no phone. What did you do? How did you know where to go?
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly.
You kind of guessed. You know, we sound so old, like relative
True,
to,
true. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And
Mm,
you know what's really trippy? Because I work with or like I have clients that are um, pretty up there in age, and like they hire me to like help them with like, technology and stuff, right? Or like even our parents. There's a better
sure.
example. Our parents, right? And they didn't grow up, so things aren't intuitive to them. You know, you're like, how do you right click on this? I don't know, double tap, two finger tap,
Hmm.
try the left side. Like, you know, we have all these problem solving abilities that are just ingrained in us,
Yeah.
but they don't have that. So are we going to be those later on?
Uh,
We have like the Neuralink thing. You're like, how do you click
I
this? What's
think
going on?
so. I think yeah. We probably will be.
Like
But I wonder,
they've
it depends on how
ingrained.
how involved you are with technology. Depends, I think.
No, no, but like it's UI, right? Like they've grown up with UI since day one and user interface.
Yeah.
Like there's certain ways that applications are built universally because they know it's like the most efficient way for humans to interact with an app. But they were born with that and they just started using that since day one. We had to learn that, you know? So maybe there are like,
No, there might be, and it depends on the thing. Yeah, like right. If they're the ones building the technology, yeah, they could be, right? The future
yeah.
technologies. Yeah.
Actually, I was posting something on Instagram, a multi-image carousel, and I was like, oh, I need to remove one of the images, right? So what I would do is I go back to the other screen and then deselect the one that I didn't want, then go back to
Yeah.
share,
Yeah.
right? So yesterday, Tara was like, "Oh, I want to delete the middle one." I'm like, "Oh yeah, you just have to like hit back and like blah blah." And then she's like, "Oh, I figured it out." I was like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah, I just held down and then I just like swiped it." But that was intuitive to her,
Yeah,
not to
yeah,
me.
yeah.
I didn't think about pushing down and like, you know.
Hmm.
But maybe other kids will just naturally think like, if I just push down, it'll probably go away.
Again, that's what I'm saying. Like it depends. Like some of the things that you find out from Apple, but I watch the Apple presentations, so like I'm learning.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
Like
yeah. Yeah.
but
You're
you're
learning.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like learning how to use the technology as I'm watching these things, right? That's like
No, but there are some things that aren't shown. Like nobody showed you how to do that. Remove image from the
they
carousel
showed it.
thing.
Oh, that one? No, I
No,
mean like I don't,
Instagram.
that's what
It's
I'm saying.
Instagram.
Like no, yeah, yeah. If Instagram had the presentations, right? I'm sure they had it there, right? That's what I'm saying.
No, I don't think Instagram ever has presentations. It's just updates.
Yeah, they probably have videos like what are the new things that they've done or something that is useful.
Yeah, but who watches that though? Like,
No, I'm saying like me watching an Apple thing or like you know what I mean. Like the information is there, but sometimes some things end up becoming like just intuitive, right?
intuitive. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. No, no, but that's what I'm saying. It's like you can watch because you know like Apple hides a bunch of stuff, so you can watch how to do things, right? But if they build things intuitively, they don't even need to tell you how to do certain things,
Yeah, yeah.
right? But we grew up learning it. We didn't grow up with it.
Mhm.
Is what I'm saying. So we still have to watch the tutorials. But like, I wonder what mannerisms they're building in kids now that will be intuitive later on for other tech that we didn't
Yeah.
even think about doing. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like for us, like right click makes sense. It's like yeah, just right click and then it'll bring up. But you have to like older
Sure.
people
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know about
yeah.
the right click. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that doesn't seem intuitive to them.
Mhm.
But to us, it's like, what is right click gonna
Yeah,
do?
yeah.
And this is all just the new age of humanity. All these little things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, one thing too that I heard that they weren't doing is like, why aren't you like our educational system hasn't upgraded to the technology that we use. Like we should be teaching code to kids at an early age, similar to like cursive writing.
Mhm.
We don't teach them cursive writing, but like we don't teach them coding, but we should because like coding will be the future.
Um uh, okay. We don't do that here or I thought we do something like that now.
No, well, the person said no. It's Howie's daughter. She's a teacher,
Yeah,
and he said like,
maybe in the US. Like it depends on the the boards.
school.
Yeah, school boards.
Do we teach coding here? at a young
I know.
age? Is that why you said that?
Yeah,
Like a
um,
little kid will learn how to code?
I'm not too sure because I heard people talk about it, right? So I wasn't sure if it was added in yet, or like it's in the process of being
Or
added in, or um,
or at least how to read code. That would be interesting. You don't have to code, but like learn what code, like what
yeah,
it
yeah. That's what I'm
means.
saying. Like I know like it's not like an old topic, right? People have been talking about this, so I don't know if
Oh,
it's
they'll
been
learn
added
to.
in. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah, 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 totally, yeah, yeah, for sure.
But like when we were
But it
in
is.
school, like you'd have to select courses
That's what I mean. Yeah, yeah,
to where you would learn to code. So
yeah. Or even like it doesn't have to be like learning to code, but it's like
understanding
what
code.
does
Yeah.
yeah, right? So like because I work with websites and I've been looking at HTML for so long, I can pull up the HTML script and figure out where the thing is.
Hmm.
You know, if they're like, oh, like actually one of my first tasks at like when I was starting this other job, not the one I currently have, they were like, update the website. That's one of my tasks. But they built the whole website on a document file, like a literal notepad.
Yeah.
You know, like how you used to build like things on
Hmm.
Word.
Hmm.
So I had to go into the Word file or like the notepad file and update that. I was like, this is insane. But I knew how to do it because I've been looking at code for so long. So I didn't need to know how to code. I just need to know how to read the code. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, you want this title updated. So I'm like, da-da-da-da. Oh, there it is. Okay, title. Yeah, da-da-da. Right. But if you don't teach that at a young age, it's like kids are going to look at that notepad and be like, what is this?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Anyways, uh, interesting future ahead.
Hmm.
Uh, any final thoughts?
No, just well, we'll see what happens to our future, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I'm pretty stoked. Okay, so we will not be doing a podcast for 1, 2, 2 weeks. I have my calendar in front of me. Yeah, no, no, no. Next week. I'm back on the 16th. Yeah.
16th of
So we can do
June.
it. It's Friday, so we could do it on the Saturday or Sunday.
Sure.
Then yeah, so a little bit of a hiatus while I head to the Philippines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you can review Zelda.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you all about it. Yeah, 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 I'm so stoked. And the Pokemon game, super
Oh,
stoked
true.
for
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. You got the game the next day?
Uh,
Zelda?
yeah, there was no like, I don't know why Amazon was like constantly, it was like push back, push back, push back, and then
I think they
when
just
you said it
sold
was on
out.
Best
I
Buy,
think their units sold out probably. That's why.
oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
'Cause a lot of people use
But I was
Amazon
surprised
more than Best Buy, I'd say.
when I told my sister that I was getting the Switch, and then I wanted the Zelda game. Her friend Sharissa was there, and then she like Googled Walmart for me and GameStop, and she said they were both sold out. So I was
Mm,
like surprised that Best Buy when you're like, oh, just get it on Best Buy. I'm like, oh, okay.
yeah.
So
Well,
it is around,
yeah,
but
yeah, 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 yeah. I think you have to like go because I don't know which because they have so many Best Buy stores. Like that area is just not
right,
as
okay,
popular
yeah,
with it, so it's like they have
true, yeah,
they
yeah,
have
yeah.
units.
They have extra ones. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So we'll jump back on in 2 or so weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Until next time. Tasty fish.
Peace.
Bye. All right. I hope you enjoyed that episode. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all those fun things, and check out our sponsors: Zenro Clothing Co., Portian Bakery, and Podbean. Take it easy, fish.
Peace.